Some other things that you're going to look at is there's some false positives. Some non-target gas that are chemically similar to your target gas may produce a false positive. The big ones you'll see that in is the CO and the H2S. With CO, some things to be careful of is hydrogen from rechargeable batteries, acetylene, alcohol-based products with body sprays. A lot of different sprays will have alcohol, nitrogen dioxide from diesel exhaust could throw off your CO readings. With H2S, watch for chlorine, like at the pool, water treatment plant, nitrogen dioxide from diesel exhaust, sulfur dioxide from combustion of coal or any petroleum product, and the carbon monoxide can throw the H2S off and give you a little bit of a false positive. Alright, so now for our multi-gas meters. With our multi-gases, they're fairly simple. I'm sure you guys can see hands on. So essentially, you've got two buttons there, and I call them, one's the power button, I call it the other, and the other one's the enter button. If you look up here on the screen, this big button over here is your power button, and then the other one is your enter button. So if you grab the power button, push it and hold it for 3 seconds, and then release the startup, the instrument goes through and runs its startup process. So go ahead and turn it on. Now when you're doing that, in the bottom corner, in the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see a battery symbol. Make sure the battery is good as you're turning it on. Okay. These are lithium-ion batteries. They're going to be in a smart charger. We'll go through the chargers here in a second. So it charges till they're full and then shuts itself off. Okay, you guys got them powered up. So with that, you'll go through zeroing the monitor process. Press the power button a couple times until you see a zero. It'll be like a little zero with a check mark on there. Zero with the check mark. Alright, so once you're with the zero, the check mark, hit and hold the enter button in, and what it'll do is it'll zero itself out. And you'll see a little clock in the top there. See the clock spinning around?
So the enter button?
Go until you'll see a zero with a check mark. And then hit. So hit it once, don't hold it down. So it's going to zero itself out. It's going to take the monitor down to its zeros. Alright, you'll see some crazy numbers. The O2 levels, a lot of times will go up to 34, 35. It beeped, right? You're done, you're at zero. You zeroed the monitor out. Okay? There should be a little clock up there. You'll hear that beep. Boom, it should go back down. Now, with doing that, you'll see a P or an F, or I'm sorry, a check mark or a P, an F. If you see the F, it means it failed. Okay, so then we need to go back through and calibrate the monitor. So if you get an F at any point and anywhere on this screen, you failed some portion of it. Okay, so again, get in fresh air, hit the power button until it's a zero check mark. Hit the enter button, it'll zero the monitor out, and then beep and you're done. Alright, we talked about if it's gone down. So now if you keep hitting the power button, you'll go through and you'll get to where it says peaks, and it shows you like a little peaks over here. You see it there, Corey?
Arrow pointing to the
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
So when you get there, hit the power, hit the enter button, it should clear your peaks. It cleared. You probably haven't. It hasn't been exposed to
I
anything.
say it's cleared yet.
Yeah. So, and then you're cleared your peaks. So the two things I'm recommending everybody do when you go out to use these, once you turn it on, zero the monitor, go through, clear the peaks. Okay, because the rep is pretty adamant about clearing the peaks every time you use it. So that's the only reason we're doing that one. The slide-on pump, I'll give you the pump here in a minute. The slide-on pump will be located on the engine with sampling tubing. The sampling tubing is about 10 foot long. The pump has its own power button. Open the door with the gray latch. There's a gray latch. I'll give this to you guys in a minute to play with. The gray latch opens, you just slide the monitor in. Once you slide the monitor in, shut the door, gray latch, and that's ready to go as a pump unit. Okay, now with the pump unit, one of the things is it's got its own power button. Power button here will turn itself on.
Zero the monitor off prior to putting it on.
Yes. Now with the pump, you'll see the power button's up here. This is a battery button, a battery light. Okay, just let you know that the battery, if it changes from green, means the battery's going dead on the pump. With the pump, one of the things you need to do is take your finger, stick it over the end, send it into failure, make sure it stops. Once you clear the blockage, it'll start itself back up again, and we're ready to go. So again, when you're going to use the pump, just throw your finger over it, just make sure it's going to stop, and go from there. The thing with the pump, it'll run for 10 hours. It can pull a sample up to 50 feet. Alright, and remember, so you got 10-foot hose here. With the hose, when you're using the hose, once it goes on the end, the bottom here is a dust and water filter. Never use the hose without the dust and water filter. Okay, because if not, it'll come through, pick up dust and water and get it up onto the sensors and will ruin sensors. Alright, so again, all the time, that needs to be on there if we're going to use the pump. Alright, so now when we look at it, and I talked about that you got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to sample. So what you got to do, and again, the thing is don't get overzealous and start running around. So take your tube, you're going to sample a manhole, get up towards the top, wait there for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Go halfway, wait 2 minutes, 20 seconds, go to the bottom, or close to the bottom, go for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, because remember that gas can be layered in that hole. Alright. With the pump, so here's the charging station for both of them. This charging station will fit the gas monitor and the pump. So with the monitors, what will happen is you see this little blue thing? That'll be up front here. It's got two positions, either one in the back or one up front. The gas monitors, you just take, drop them, set them in. We haven't figured out where I'm going to put these yet. I'm probably going to, we got to figure that out. So then if you're going to charge the pump, you pull that blue piece out, pop it in the back, and it just slides in like that, and it'll charge the battery for the pump, because the pump's got its own battery. Alright, we did that so that we can take, if the monitor on engine 1 goes out, I can pull the monitor off engine 2, throw it on engine 1, so that way it's kind of got some versatility there. Alright, so then powering the monitor off, again, press and hold, and you'll see it'll count down from a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it's done. Well, okay? It's pretty simple. One of the things real quick with the monitor is it has 2 levels of alarms when the gas is reached. So I'll show you the monitor levels here in a minute. The monitor will flash and vibrate when it alarms, and then when it gets to, that's at the low alarm, and then you'll hear a different one when it goes to a high alarm. Alright, I'll throw some gas to it here in a minute so you get to see the difference and hear the difference. So here's the low alarms. So for the LEL, you'll hear it at a slower pace, and when you get up to the 20, it actually gets a little bit faster, vibrates a little bit more. The O2, the low alarm is 19 and a half, high alarm is 23 and a half, carbon monoxide is 25, the high is at 70, H2S is 10 and 20. Okay? Questions? Anybody? Alright, so one of the things I threw in here is just a couple case studies now, because this is long, and I kind of did that for the online stuff. But what happened is this guy from FDNY riding a squad company. Does anybody know what squads are in FDNY? They're essentially a rescue engine. Yeah. They pull up on a CO alarm. As they get out of the truck, their monitors are blowing up. So a lot of company monitors, their CO monitors are blowing up. They've got people outside at 2 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out what's going on, and come to find out that when their CO monitors are blowing up, they were blowing up because they had an underground vault with electrical lines in it catch fire, and it was burning underground. So then it went from a CO alarm to an actual incident. And then the other one I wanted to throw at you guys real quick is, it's a little bit low, but they went, an engine ladder went from the CO alarm to Boston Market, and as they started into the basement of the Boston Market, their monitors started going with an oxygen deficiency. Their O2 level started dropping. The guy stopped, threw their SCBAs on, got down into the basement of the Boston Market, and here it ends up being is the liquefied CO2 for the pop machines was leaking. Okay, and you think about what we got in our district between McDonald's, the Durr, all the mom and pop shops that have fountain pop drinks. We had the potential to have that. And it's not going to go out as a CO alarm most of the time. It's